So what's the thread that connects history's greatest achievers? Well, actually, it's pretty simple, but it's the complete opposite to how we think today.
I figured it out.
Now I'm going to try and use a late night chat show host to explain what that is. A bit strange, I know. First though, we need to go back to Leonardo da Vinci's story. We left him last time as a washed out 30-year-old in 1482, out of work and out of luck. And then I did something bad. I skipped right over the next 16 years of his life to go straight to his first masterpiece. That's bad because if you want to know what makes a genius, the answer lies here in these years. And it's a story that never gets told. So it's 1482, and Leonardo had just arrived in Milan, leaving the unfortunate days of Florence behind him. He gets a job for this humble-looking guy, the Duke of Milan. Finally, he thought things would start to go his way. Well, actually no. First, there's the story of the Lady and the Ermine. In 1489, he asks him to paint a picture of her and her pet weasel. Fair enough, but if you look closely, you'll see Leonardo puts far more detail into painting the weasel's face than the girl's, and apparently she wasn't happy. Then there's the curse of the giant horse. About 8 years into his time in Milan, he asks him to create something really epic, a gigantic statue of a horse in bronze. Leonardo goes all out on this. He creates countless studies and sketches, he builds a full-size replica in plaster, he even invents a new kind of casting process to make it happen. Then, at the last minute, the Duke decides he needs bronze cannons more than a massive bronze horse, and the project is cancelled. Months and months of work wasted. It was a time of setback after setback. But Leonardo keeps going. And all the time, every single chance he gets, he's drawing, and studying, and sketching, and writing, and prototyping. And he does this, day in, day out, for 16 years. Everything, the unfinished painting and the unfinished horse, the hanged assassin and the unhappy clients, it all adds up. Pretty much every big achiever in history has this chapter in their story, and somehow we forget it. I call them the difficult years. In his book Mastery, which studies the patterns of history's biggest achievers, Robert Greene calls it a largely self-directed apprenticeship that lasts some 5 to 10 years and receives little attention because it does not contain stories of great achievement or discovery. But they're part of everyone's story. Marie Curie spent 7 years living in poverty in Paris while she studied and researched radioactivity. Michael Faraday worked as a lab assistant for 7 years too, before he was even allowed to do his own experiments. Stephen King wrote every day for 9 years before he even sold his first novel. And John Coltrane practiced the saxophone feverishly every single day for 17 years before he even got his first big hit in 1960. Okay, but what about the child prodigies? You know, Mozart and Tiger Woods. Well, they had their difficult years too. They just started really young.
How old are you, Tiger?
Daddy.
Two?
It's as simple as that. Or at least it was. And then something changed.
I figured it out.
Which is where Craig Ferguson comes in. Now, if you don't know who he is, he's a late-night TV show host in the States. And sometimes he can say things that are unexpectedly profound.
In the 1950s, late 50s, early 60s, a bunch of advertising guys got together in Madison Avenue and decided that what they were trying to do was sell products to younger people. They thought we should try and sell products to younger people because then they'll buy things their whole lives. It was just an advertising thing. They didn't mean any harm by it. It's just a little bit of market research. And so everybody started targeting the youth because the youth was the place where you were going to be able to sell things. And what happened was that in a strange kind of quirk of fate, youth began to be celebrated by society. And a way that it had never been any time in human history. It became fashionable and desirable to be young and to be stupid. And now that's what all the kids want to be.
This celebration of youth, coupled with technology, has distorted our perception of time. The world moves faster and so do our expectations. Today we want success in 17 levels, or 17 minutes, 17 seconds. And when the promise of something new and better is just a click away, who wants to wait 17 years? But that's the thing that connects all of these great people. They played the long game. All of us have the brains and the talent and the creativity to join them, but now, right when it matters, do any of us have the patience?